Night to Indianapolis, but the Baltimore Colts marching band stays, vowing that they will stay together until the NFL returns to Baltimore. The Baltimore Colts marching band and Maryland, my Maryland. Now let's meet the contenders in just a moment for the 112th running of the Preakness Stakes before some 86,000 people at Pimlico. Number one is Bet Twice, second in the Kentucky Derby after that staggering trip down the stretch. Trained by Jimmy Kroll, owned by the Levy family, led by Bob Levy. Craig Perrette is the jockey, does most of his riding in New Jersey, and you see that the odds are 9-2 on Bet Twice, the son of Sport and Light. Bred in Kentucky by Will Farish. Number two now, the local favorite, Maryland-bred Harriman, the son of Lord Gaylord, who stands at Duck and Glennie Martin's farm not 15 minutes from this racetrack, owned by the Bayard Sharps of Delaware. And he is, in fact, named after Averill Harriman, but 40-1, he's the long shot in the field. Moving along to number three, it's Phantom Jet, owned by Scott Savin, trained by the young Englishman Phil Gleave, who learned at the feet of the master Woody Stevens, ridden by Keith Allen. Phantom Jet might be a good bet for show in this race at 17-1. Number four is No More Flowers, back for another try after a bad showing in the Kentucky Derby. His trainer says that he just didn't like the track there, either in the Derby trial or the Derby itself. He thinks he can do it today. Number five, this could be an overlay here. Looking for the big one, the speed horse from the Wayne Lucas barn. And being held at 13-1, as I say, that could be a pretty good bet. He'll be leading the race almost certainly in the early going. He's only had 4 races in his life. Is the one rap against him. Number 6 is the winner of the Kentucky Derby, Only Horse, with a chance for the Triple Crown, Ali Sheba. Chris McCarron on his back, returning to Maryland, where it all began for him. Co-favorite at 2-1. Number 7, well, for a while his trainer, Leroy Jolly, said he wasn't probably going to come to the Preakness, but owner Peter Brandt wanted to, and here he is with Angel Cordero aboard, 7-2, a real contender here today. He was 6th at the Kentucky Derby, won the Wood earlier, remember. Number 8, the surprise third-place finisher in the Kentucky Derby, Avies Copy, the only remaining horse, remember, of Brown Badgett, who sold all his other 50. Dave Casson, the trainer, Mickey Solomoni at age 44 on his back. His grandsire is Lord Gaylord, the same horse we're talking about with Harriman. And number 9, Crypto Clearance, co-favorite for the Preakness. Owned by Phil Tynowitz, the Tynowitz family from Chicago. His sons keep telling us all winter. ABC stands for Always Bet Crypto Clearance. Well, he was coming on strong at the end of the Derby, couldn't quite make it. And that is the field. 9 horses, remember, 6 of them ran in Kentucky. There is Leroy Jolly. One other year, he was overruled by his owner, and that was the year of Genuine Risk. Looked like the owner was right. Genuine Risk, the filly, won the Kentucky Derby. But Leroy says he's happy that he's here now. There is Cordero, the most famous jockey of his time. He's won many millions of dollars in purses. 8, Avies Copy. They're all about to move into the starting gate pretty soon for a mile and 16. Charles E. Candy is here.
Jim, what I must say, being in the infield and watching these horses saddle, they were the most collected group in the infield. Their demeanor was wonderful as they were being packed up. The bands, the crowds, bothered not one of them. And secondly, especially since we have 6 horses left over from the Derby, they all look in such tremendously good physical condition. Not one of them seems to have suffered from the grueling trip they had down to Louisville. They all look good. Even little Crypto Clearance, who tends to be a little on the light side, he may have even gained a few pounds.
Which is very unusual for horses coming into the second leg of the Triple Crown. Usually somebody's staggering in there.
It's a tough road through these 3 races, but they all are in good shape.
So let's get serious. Whom do you like?
It's the same thing, Jim. I don't want to hedge, but once again, we've got a very, as the handicappers would say, an edge and a tight fit. But I'm going to have to stick with Ali Sheba. Any horse that was that courageous deserves another chance. I
was going to say, anybody who showed the courage and the heart that he did in the stretch at Churchill Downs, I have to stick with him until they beat him. I'll take Ali Sheba, too. And we'll know soon.
Check out time, Garfield.
Check out. We've only been here a week.
Boy, it was great staying here at an Embassy Suites hotel on vacation.
So